In this second part of the SAP Financial Accounting Basics section, you will learn about the second important control key, posting key, standard posting key, posting periods, and its relation with document header and line items. You will also learn about authorization groups and tolerance groups. So first of all, posting keys. A posting key in SAP is a 2-digit key that controls the entry of line items. Just like document types, posting keys too are defined at the client level. The posting key indicates whether the line item deals with a payment transaction or not. And this information is required when analyzing payment history and creating payment notices. Posting keys also indicate whether the sales figures of the account should be updated by the transaction, for example, when posting a customer invoice. In the standard transactions, posting keys are normally labeled debit and credit. And in customizing, R3 delivers the following default values. For GL transactions, debit is posting key 40 and credit is posting key 50. For customer invoices, debit is posting key 01 and credit is posting key 50. And then we have vendor invoices. Credit is posting key 31 and debit is posting key 40. With the introduction of Enjoy SAP functionality, posting keys have been enhanced. In Enjoy SAP, all transactions are performed in one screen only. Now let's have a look at the standard posting keys. Take a look at this image. It shows the standard posting keys in SAP. And it's advisable to use these standard delivered posting keys. If you're required to change them or define new posting keys, all tables containing a reference to these keys must also be maintained. If posting keys are to be deleted, it should be ensured that these are not already used in the system. Posting keys for assets and materials may only be used if the corresponding SAP components are implemented. By influencing the field status definition of posting keys and the field status group, the field status can be made transaction dependent and account dependent. Subledger accounts do not have to have field status groups. Differentiation in the subledger postings is mainly made by the different posting keys. Therefore, there are a lot of posting keys for subledger postings. In general ledger postings, differentiation is mainly made by different field status groups. Therefore, only 2 posting keys, 40 and 50, are needed for general ledger postings. Posting periods are defined in the fiscal year variant, and the posting date in the document header determines the posting period in which postings are to take place. Posting periods not in use can be closed. This prevents documents from being posted to a wrong posting period. Usually the current posting period is open and all other periods are closed. And at the end of a period it is usually closed and the next period is opened. And a period is opened by entering a range into the posting period variant which encompasses this period. But it is possible to have as many posting periods open as you want. During financial closing, some special periods may also be open for closing postings. And during the closing procedure, 2 period ranges should be open at the same time. Therefore, 2 period ranges can be entered in the posting period table. For technical reasons, for each posting period variant, an entry plus is required that is valid for all account types such as customer, vendor, asset, etc. In the next slide, you will understand how at the document header level, R3 checks the periods that are allocated to the account type plus. You can use the same posting period variant for several company codes. The closing and opening periods is then done at the same time for all assigned company codes, thus making period maintenance a lot easier. At the document header level, R3 checks the periods that are allocated to the account type plus. Since this is the first check, the account type plus must be open for all periods which are supposed to be open for any other account type. The account type plus is the minimum entry in the posting period variant. Posting periods can be managed differently for different account types. That is, for a certain period, postings on customer accounts can be possible while postings on vendor accounts may not. Now let's take a look and see if we can understand the relationship between posting periods and line items. At the line item level, R3 checks the account type of the posting key to verify that the period is open for the assigned account type. The account range always contains general ledger accounts. By entering certain reconciliation accounts behind subledger accounts, these subledger accounts can be treated differently than accounts which have different reconciliation accounts. During the time of the closing procedure, two period ranges have to be open at the same time. Therefore, two period ranges can be entered in the posting period table. An authorization group may be assigned to the first range. Then, only users belonging to this authorization group have the permission to post into the first period range. It makes sense to use the first range for the special periods and authorize only the accountants involved in closing to post into these special periods. Using the standard authorization object F_BKPF_BUK, the user can determine which company code's documents can be processed, and the user must have the authorization for the standard authorization object F_BKPF_BUP with the same value in the field authorization group as in the posting period table. Let's take a look at tolerance groups. Processing of payment differences are controlled through tolerance groups. Tolerance groups ensure that employees do not exceed their defined authority in financial transactions. The maximum amounts are defined per company code in tolerance groups. It defines the upper limits for posting procedures such as total amount per document, amount per open account item, the cash discount percentage a user with the tolerance group is able to grant. Now let's have a look at how we assign posting authorizations to users. You can create as many tolerance groups as required. A user can be assigned explicitly to a tolerance group. In case a user is not assigned to any specific tolerance group, then entries in the default tolerance group are valid for them. The blank space within the quotes on this slide symbolize the default tolerance groups. Usually the default tolerance group contains values which are valid for the largest number of employees. And for any employees who have especially high or low limits, a special tolerance group should be created and assigned to their own user login IDs. You have now reached the end of this section on SAP Financial Accounting Basics. Next, we're going to move on and learn about some of the features of General Ledger.